Australia is a land filled with diverse landscapes, from the harsh deserts of the outback to the stunning coastlines and lush rainforests. It is surprising to note that 90% of this vast continent remains uninhabited, leaving us to ponder the reasons behind this vast emptiness. As we journey through the untamed wilderness, we encounter a mix of challenging environmental conditions, limited water sources, and difficult terrain that have made human settlement a challenge. Despite its awe-inspiring beauty, much of Australia remains untouched and uninhabited, prompting us to reflect on the mysteries of this unique and enigmatic land. Australia is a vast country, covering over 7.6 million square kilometers, making it the sixth largest country in the world. Despite its immense size, Australia has a relatively small population of just over 25 million people. This leads to large expanses of uninhabited land, creating a sense of openness and tranquility that is unique to the country. While cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane are bustling metropolises, much of Australia's interior is defined by rugged landscapes and isolated outback regions. Australia's major cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane are bustling hubs of activity and modernity, contrasted with the vast, empty landscapes that dominate the interior of the country. The sparse population in the outback can be attributed to its harsh and unforgiving environment, characterized by extreme temperatures, arid deserts, and limited access to water sources. Settlement patterns have historically been influenced by the availability of resources, with coastal regions offering more favorable conditions for agriculture, transportation, and trade. The outback remains isolated and underdeveloped due to its remoteness and harsh conditions, making it less attractive for human habitation. Despite its beauty and unique wildlife, the interior of Australia continues to be a land of solitude and mystery, with its emptiness standing in stark contrast to the bustling urban centres that dot the country's coastline. One significant reason is Australia's climate. Much of the interior experiences arid or semi-arid conditions, making it inhospitable for large populations. The outback faces extreme temperatures, often exceeding 40 degrees Celsius in summer, along with prolonged droughts. These harsh weather conditions can pose significant challenges for agriculture and water resources, leading to a reliance on imported food and water supplies in many parts of the country. The lack of rainfall in certain regions also contributes to the prevalence of bushfires, which can devastate vast areas of land and threaten homes and wildlife. Despite these challenges, Australia has been working on implementing sustainable practices to mitigate the impact of climate change and protect its fragile ecosystems. In the outback of Australia, scientists are hard at work measuring temperatures and analyzing the composition of the soil. The harsh environment of the interior limits agriculture, posing unique challenges for communities looking to thrive. Beyond the scorching heat, the diverse ecosystems of Australia present a range of obstacles. From the arid deserts to the lush rainforests, each region requires a different approach to preservation and management. The delicate balance of flora and fauna in these ecosystems is easily disrupted by human activity, making conservation efforts crucial. By studying the intricate connections within these ecosystems, scientists hope to better understand how to protect and sustain the unique biodiversity of Australia. Australia is home to some of the most extraordinary wildlife on the planet, including iconic species like kangaroos and elusive creatures like dingoes. The country also boasts a diverse array of flora, with unique plant species found nowhere else in the world. These ecosystems are incredibly fragile and finely tuned to the specific conditions found in Australia. The arid interior poses challenges for plant and animal life, with specialized adaptations needed for survival. Conservation efforts are vital for maintaining the delicate balance of these ecosystems and preserving the rich biodiversity that makes Australia so unique. The presence of invasive species poses a significant threat to ecosystems worldwide. Invasive species not only outcompete native plants and animals for resources but also disrupt entire ecosystems. Consider the impact of the invasive zebra mussel, which can clog water intake pipes, affecting water treatment facilities and infrastructure, while also outcompeting native mussels for food. Similarly, invasive plants like the notorious kudzu vine in the southern U.S. can overrun native vegetation, leading to significant decreases in biodiversity and habitat loss for native species. These disruptions can have far-reaching consequences, creating cascading effects on food webs and ecosystem services, ultimately making it more challenging for native species to thrive and survive in their natural habitat. For thousands of years, indigenous Australians flourished across the land, establishing communities in coastal paradises and welcoming landscapes. The arrival of European settlers brought about a significant transformation, with many gravitating towards these coastal regions, while leaving the vast outback largely untouched. This collision of two distinct groups set off a complex interchange of cultures and narratives, ultimately shaping the future of the continent. The ongoing interactions between indigenous societies and early settlers have etched a lasting imprint on Australia's history and heritage, perpetuating a legacy that continues to exert influence on the nation's identity to this very day. Indigenous cultures have long-standing ties to the land, woven into their traditions and beliefs. However, centuries of colonization and forced displacement have created a stark contrast between settlers and the arid interior. The indigenous leaders we spoke to emphasized the importance of maintaining this connection, not just for themselves, but for future generations. They shared stories of their ancestors' deep respect for the land, highlighting the symbiotic relationship between people and nature. Despite the challenges they face in reclaiming their ancestral territories, these leaders remain steadfast in their commitment to preserving the land for the well-being of their communities and the planet as a whole. Economically, the focus has largely been on coastal cities where resources are abundant. The outback is rich in minerals, but the costs associated with mining operations and transportation make it less appealing for permanent settlement. Industries like mining and agriculture play a significant role in the economic landscape, providing employment opportunities and contributing to the country's GDP. Despite the challenges, efforts are being made to harness the potential of the outback's resources, with advancements in technology and infrastructure slowly making remote areas more accessible for development. The contrast between the bustling cities and the vast, untouched outback highlights the diversity of Australia's economy. In rural areas, farms and communities are often depicted as grappling with harsh conditions brought about by the unforgiving climate. The challenging farming practices in these remote regions have led to a noticeable trend of urban migration. The appeal of coastal regions, with their greater opportunities for success, has become increasingly alluring. As a result, many individuals are opting to abandon rural life in pursuit of a brighter future in cities. The promise of better prospects and improved livelihoods in urban areas is undeniable, driving a significant number of residents away from their rural homes. Australia, with 90% of its vast land lying uninhabited, is a product of multiple factors such as the unforgiving climate, the unique ecosystems found in the outback, historical settlement patterns, and economic considerations. Despite the vast emptiness, there is a rich story of resilience and adaptation that defines the Australian landscape. The bustling city life juxtaposed with the untouched beauty of the outback paints a picture of a land that remains predominantly wild and untamed, showcasing the essence of Australia's adventurous spirit and rugged charm. The harmonious coexistence of urban civilization and untouched wilderness highlights the country's ability to thrive in the face of adversity and embody the spirit of resilience and strength that defines the Australian identity. From the stunning Great Barrier Reef to the vast outback, Australia is a land of diverse beauty waiting to be explored. As Australians connect with their environment, whether surfing at Bondi Beach or admiring Uluru at sunrise, they are truly living in harmony with nature. By immersing yourself in the stories of Australia's Indigenous peoples and embracing the unique flora and fauna that call this land home, you can gain a greater understanding and appreciation for the country's emptiness. So, take the plunge and discover the wonders that Australia has to offer. Let the vibrant visuals of Australians enjoying their environment inspire you to embark on your own adventure down under.